Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my first video in English. Normally I have a German YouTube channel, but at the last weekend I was on a tournament in Dachau near Munich, and there were a few English speaking players, and so I was thinking I must bring one video in English for these players. In the future, if they are interested in more English content, I can bring videos, one video for every tournament, but the main content will stay in German on this channel. Before I start, sorry for my not the best English, but my main language is German, and so we will see. I hope you can understand it all. So, like I say, last weekend I was on a tournament in Dachau, and we were 36 players. Winning. Before I start with my list and my games, I will told you the ranking. The winning place were Wood Elves from Robert. It was a heavy shooty and magic shooty list with double level 4 with illusion and spectral doppelganger and much 3-unit sisters and ring of Rubin and something like this. And the second place were high elves with double level 4, level 4 on Star Dragon, which use high magic and was most times Isone. And the third place was Kingdom of Bretonia with 2 units Grey Knights, 2 units Pegasus Knights, 3 units Knights, 10 Bowmen, Duke on Pegasus, Battle Standard Bearer, and for dispelling 1 level 4 Damsel. Then the next 2 places was Vampire Counts. Me, I was 4th place. Then Orcs and Goblins, 7 Vampire Counts, Beastmen on 8th place, Empire on 9th, and 10th place, Demons of Chaos. And it's a really interesting list. He only lose against the Wood Elves, and the Wood Elves was, for the Wood Elf, this was one of the perfect matchups because the demons loses against magical attacks, the ward save and regeneration save, and that was terrible for the demons, and I think if he won't play against wood elves, maybe he could stay higher in the ranking. This list was Nurgle with 2 units of 5 beasts of Nurgle, 3 units Nurglings, 1 demon prince, Nurgle, level 4, and Bloodthirster. Really strong, because the beasts of Nurgle, in the most times, they don't die completely. They're very tough, and like units, they can hit very hard. That's a really strong list. Okay. I think we will now go to my list. It was a wish under my last video in German that I can explain a little bit more my list and how it works. First, I played, like I said, Vampire Crowns, and my general is Strigoi Ghoul King. And he must be level 1, and I play him with Necromancy and the Giant Blade. Normally I would play him with Ogre Blade, and but I don't have enough points to give him the Ogre Blade, because I played 3 Tarot guys, and 2 Mortis Engine. My other characters were level 4 on Mortis Engine with Lore Familiar and Hand of Dust. Lore Familiar is very important, because in the most times I play him with Necromancy, like the other Necromant. Most times when you roll a dice to have a look which spades you become, it can happen also when you have 5 spades that you don't roll the 2 leadership spades. And I want the most times how much I can have the leadership spades to downgrade the leadership for my enemy, and I have 5 models with Wailing Dire, and then you can Wailing Dire the most 6, when you can put 1 or better 2 leadership downgrades to your opponent. The third character was 1 level 1 on Mortis Engine, and what's here also important, the effect of the Mortis Engine stacks, and so the level 1 Necromancer and the Strigoi Ghoul King become also 3 to the cast, and the Master Necromancer, the level 4, becomes 6 to cast. And so if you speak the most spades, you don't need second level 4, because levels +3 to cast is most times enough. And what's also important when you play to Mortis engine, your units become, when they stay near, +2 to movement and initiative characteristics. And after the last FAQ, this also happened to models who have the special fly. And the +2 on the mods engine, it's not capped to 10. When you use this signature spell from vampires and buff the movement, then you can have a maximum of 12 with 2 mods engine with fly. And that's really, really strong. And the list is very fast. And that's one of the really good things on this, well, strong list, things on this list. Core, I put only 504 points on only to fill. There are 2 units of Crypt Ghouls with Gust, 3 units of 5 Direwolves with Doomwolf, and 2 units of 29 zombies. And like I said, 3 Terrorgeist. What's here important and how it works? You will see in the next few minutes when I tell you my games, that this unit, maybe next time I would bring a third unit and maybe only 20 as unit. I played then 10 white. White 10 and not 5 to 4. I play then 10 white, and they are not too deep. And when you play behind maybe a line of ghouls or put direct the Mortis engine and Terrorgeist behind, then you are first into 8-inch when the opponent charges this unit and the unit don't die in the hole. And you can fly without marching over this unit when your opponent come too near to you, that you can fly over and then use Wailing Dire. These 5 units was thinking when I go very straight into my opponent, that I have one champion in a unit which charges in the same unit like the Strigoi Ghoul King or one of the Necromancers, and the champion can I can use the champion to take the challenge, because when you use Wailing Dire, you can also use it when you charge, when you stay in combat, and you don't must stay in the same combat, so you can have the zombies in front your army, stay in combat, and stay behind, and all times use Wailing Dire to kill the other unit. The zombies don't must do it. That's really, really strong, and I think the Wailing Dire lists are at the moment the strongest vampire list you can play. I see other vampire lists without Strigoi Ghoul King with double level 4 and 2 Banshees and 2 Tarot guys. Maybe next time this will be also an interesting list, because Banshees are also eternal, and the opponent can't hit them when they stay near a unit, and they can use Wailing Dire then every time. And what's also interesting when you play against vampire counts and the opponent have also much Wailing Dire. Wailing Dire, it's not magical, and so he can't hit with Wailing Dire Banshees. Maybe next time I will change it a little bit, but this was my list to this tournament. What's also interesting, I think this list is really strong. Problems for this list is other vampire lists, because when you can't kill enough to stay long or fight long with other units, because other vampire players or Tomb King players with great units can bring them back, and that's a really great problem for this list, that I can't go straight in a vampire player. Then I must play defensively, because the other vampire player has the same problem, and he can't storm me because I'm too fast, and I can say, okay, I stay on the left side, and when you come with the most things on the right side, I only need 1 round to fly on the left side, and then I will Wailing Dire you down. It's for the most things when they are small unit of Blood Knights or single models, it's very hard to play against this list when you don't stay defense. Also that's one of great problems for this list. You will see it on this tournament. There it's only interesting who starts first. What's also a great problem, because it's a dice game then, it's when the opponent have high magic attacks, when he shoots, like wood elves. Wood elves with fireball 4 or 5 times. It's magic missiles. It's a great problem for this list when they're much magic missiles, or also much shots with poison, because the terror guys have only toughness 6 wounds, but armor save 6 and regeneration only 5 plus, and the Mortis engine have only toughness 5 and armor save 4 and regeneration 5 plus. And so they can die. If you have enough shooting, they will die. It could be an interesting after the tournament what happens when I would play against this Wood Elf list, because then I think it's interesting when I have the first turn, maybe at the start I will put things mostly backwards to woods or hills or buildings, and when I have the first turn I will bring all and fly 20 inch, and then the Wood Elf player has only one turn to shoot. But when the Wood Elf player starts, then he has minimum of 2 turns, and then it could be interesting. But we don't have the situation on this tournament, so I can't say it. The heaviest shooting matchup was the second game, and there I do what I say. I have the first round, I go completely in offense, and my opponent have only 1 turn to shoot on my list, really, and that was not enough to kill the most that I can't do after this anything. So I'm also thinking, what's also a great problem for this list, this is the third one, it's an army who has much Ethereum, because I don't have much magical attacks. That's also a great problem, and what it could be if the opponent throw low dice on leadership check, what also a week before was a problem, was a Kingdom of Bretonia with all units veterans, and they could re-roll the leadership test, and this was horrible, because also I to this tournament I have the problem, I don't have lore familiar. I played only 3 Ghoul King and 2 level 1 on Mortis engine, and there were 2 games where I don't have any spells with leadership downgrades, and so the Bretonian use every time their own leadership or the general's leadership, and it was too high, and he rode very low with 15 wailing dire screams. I only killed one knight. It was then my list do nothing. This was terrible. So another problem, or what I thinking it's a great problem, was for the most of my opponents that we play the winning rules of Games Workshop on the rule book. Normally, I would say this list don't play often when you have a matrix of 0 to 20, often 20 to 0. Then, if you have a normal matrix, they will often play 12 to 8 or 13 to 7. Then you will win the most games, but you will become the problem that you, in the most times, you don't win this tournament because when you have only one day or not so much players, because other players will score higher than you. But when you use Games Workshop rulebook scores, then you need only to have 101 victory points more than your opponent. And when you have when you have more than double victory points than your opponent, then you will go 3 to 0. Otherwise, when you have only more and more than 101 victory points difference, then you go 2 to 0. And only when you have a difference under 100 victory points, you will have a draw. And that's, I think, too low. And you will see it as maybe you can use these rules, but then you must put the points for draw higher. Then it will be also not a problem. When you say, oh, only you need 201 or 301 to don't have draw, then you will become it will become much more interesting, because then you can't say when you need 301 point to not have a draw, you can't say I will only stay defense and my opponent will only stay defense, and nothing great will happen, because if you want to win, you must go forward and can't only stay in the back line and go in the last rounds forward. You will see it in my in my games. Okay, so and we start with my first battle, and how you can see, it was a mirror match between my vampires and other vampires. The list from my opponent has 2 level 4 mortis, or had 2 level 4 mortis engine, 2 banshees, a few zombies, a few ghouls like me and core, a few dogs and hex rays and blood knights. It could be stronger, like I said before, when he would put out the hex rays and blood knights and would keep 2 tarot guys into his list. The problem for him was his army. It's much more slow than my army, and this is something I said before, because of the points of Games Workshop. When you don't play 0 to 20 matrix, you have the problem when both sides stay defensive, then you will play normally 10-10, and the problem with Vamps versus Vamps is he can't go straight to me, because he will he can't destroy in one round my first battle line. I can bring it back, like zombies or ghouls, and then I will scream him with Wailing Dire down. And that's a really problem for him. And when it could be terrifying for me, I can fly away, and he can't do anything against this because he's very slow. So we decide to play defensive, and what was important for this game is that I don't go first, because I can't also only go straight to him, because when I don't break him, I have the same problem with Scream and Wailing Dire. And so I decide to play also defensive for the moment, but each turn I go a little bit forward and turn 3 or 4. Sometimes different, because it's also interesting if my opponent goes a little bit forward or backward. When he went back, I must go a little bit earlier to smash forward, and he when he also goes a little bit forward, I must stay longer in the back. And so I went a little bit forward in the first 3-4 rounds, and then I start to rush forward in my round 5, because when I go in my opponent, when I don't start, and I rise in turn 6, then my opponent can't react because he starts and he can't do anything after my turn 6. So in my turn 5, I was only looking that he can't countercharge me with his fast units. So I stay outside of move and Wailing Dire range, what is for his Mortis engine 18-inch and his Banshees it was 16-inch. And so he can't do anything to me in his round 6, and in my round 6 I smash and scream into 2 of his zombie blocks, and I killed them. The first one was, I think, with here was also one. This one with the 2 Mortis engine and 1 Terrorgeist, and in the middle Scream of Terrorgeist and my ghouls with the Ghoul King. And so he becomes no victory points. I kill 2 units of zombies with standard, and I become 250 victory points, and I have over 100 victory points, so it was 2-0, but then I have also double out his victory points because he has 0. So it was finally a 3-0. It was very frustrating to my opponent because he knows he can do nothing. If I would go first, it will end 10-10 because then he has the last round and I can't fly into him when he can fight back. But his problem was when he would go forward, he is too slow. And his counter charge, because he has only 4 Wailing Dire, was not so much like me. And so I win the first battle. It was a very fast game. The most times we do nothing. And so I can have a look on other games, and it was very interesting to see how other vampire armies perform or other battles. In my second game, I was playing against Skaven. It's one of my favorite armies, but after the FIQ I see no chance to play with Skaven. It's so bad because the last things where you can say I can play with against other armies were cut down, and that's terrible. In this game, I see he has much shooting, 2 units Jesuits, Prophet on Screaming Bell, 2 units Clan Rats, 3 Rattling Guns, 1 Storm Vermin, 1 Lightning Cannon, and Globadiers 2, and Beast. I don't know for the moment the English word. In Deutsch Rattenbrut. And he stay in the middle so that he can see most points on the battlefield. The next problem for him were hill buildings where I can stay behind. This photo is after my first movement. No, on the end on my first battle round. I moved up Vanguard with 3 units of dogs, move normal in the movement phase, and then I take a reserve move up my 2 terror guys on left flank, and on the right flank I put the 2 Mortis engine and the other terror guys behind the hill, that he can't shoot me with the most things in his army. The rest of my troops I moved up, and I take 1 spell, the magical vortex. The next problem for my opponent was that I rolled in this game with Ghoul King and the Necromancer, each one of the leadership downgrades, and so I could cast each turn 2 times the magic vortex with -1 to leadership and no inspiration of general, and 2 times the -2 to leadership and no inspiration from the general. Here I want to block his creature. I don't know why. I will have a look. That he can't move in any direction. And in his first turn, he moved a little bit up. He charged Hell Pit. With the Hell Pit, my dogs. And he has a little bit shot. He shoot down 1 of the dog units. And I think he kills with Warp Lightning Cannon a few ghouls. And the hell pit has killed the dogs and run a little bit forward. In my next turn, in my second turn, I go with the 2 mortis engine in position on the hill. The third terror ghost go also on top on the hill, scream at the hell pit animation and makes a reserve move at this position that the terror guys next turn can charge into his backfield. The other 2 terror guys went march forward in the flank, and the wolves move also forward and move the reserve move here. Why I can make a reserve move? My level 4 wizard takes the spell of vampire that when I cast on the 10 plus all units in command range can make a reserve move. That's also why my zombies are so fast. Yeah, what much people don't thinking about is that Mortis Engine not only makes the terror guys and Mortis Engine himself and Banshees faster, they make also or give also in command range to other units +1 for each Mortis Engine on movement, and it stacks. So my zombies have movement 6, and when they move normal 6 and can make reserve move, then they are very fast. The same with ghouls and also when I would play it Graveguard. In his next turn I go to okay. Next turn, his second turn, he put all his shooting on my Master Necromancer, the 2 units Jesuits, I think 1 Rattling gun, the Warp Lightning Cannon, Ruby Ring, and the magic missile from the Great Seer. And I failed all my regeneration saves, but the Mortis Engine still stay with 1 life point. And that was for him a little bit lucky. That's only he destroyed 7 life points, but for the other side it was terrible for him that he my level 4 stay with 1 life point. And so in my next turn I can charge everything in. You can see it on the last picture. Yes. This Terrorgeist charges one Rattling gun. This Terrorgeist was charging the Stormvermin, the zombies, and was charging his Screaming Bell. And this Terrorgeist and the two Mortis engine charged the clan rats at the right flank. And then in the shooting phase, the Mortis engine and Terrorgeist scream at the bell. And what also happened in my command phase, I become the spell to the Great Seer that he becomes -2 to leadership, and so he and there was the magic vortex from the battle round before, and so he must test to leadership with -5, 4 or 5, and yeah, it needs 3 screams and the bell was dead. It was terrible for him, and then the rest also died in combat. Here were the last clan rat unit, and in his third round he only shut down my Master Necromancer level 4 because he have 1 life point left, and in my third battle round I don't pass the leadership test to heal him, so for him it was not a great problem to destroy the last life point. On my fourth battle round, the game was over. I only lost the Master Necromancer, and his whole army was died. Yeah, I don't know what we can do, Games Workshop can do to this game. Maybe push back the FAQ to the Fellblade and Giant Rats. And what I think could help is when we would take the rules from 6 to 8 edition to the Warp Lightning Cannon and Doomwheel. I think that could help Skaven to fight better, because then they have also things who can do multiple wounds, because that's a great problem for Skaven when they must fight against creatures, because they have only weapons who can make 1 wound, and at the moment the most players play big monsters and at the moment, therefore, Skaven can't fight against it. For them, it's not a likely game for in the moment. That was my second game, and when we finished it, I look at the other tables from the players who win the first battle round, the first game, and I see, okay, Wood Elves win again, Demons win again against one of a good friend from me, Beastman player, and the other vampire players win also, but two of the other vampire players win also, and but not high. And there was one more game what was interesting for me, because I don't want to fight again mirror match against vamps, and there was one match, and if the Bretonnian would win higher against orcs and goblins, the one demons or Bretonnians had played against Wood Elf in the last round, and I had played against Bretonnian or demons. The problem was the Bretonnian don't win high enough against orcs and goblins, and so it was so terrible. In the last round, the next mirror match against vampire. My opponent, a really good player, look at my army and say, I can't run into it. And so he plays also defense. And here was my problem. Like I said in the first game, when I go first, then we will play 10-10, or in Games Workshop Matrix 1-to-1 in over 90-95%. When I go second, then I will win. And the problem in this game was I must go first. I win the roll-off, and I must go first. Yes, and I do my best, but my opponent realize what will happen, and you will see it in a few moments. In my two first turns, I go with my zombies a little bit up on the right flank and straight forward on my left flank. The first two turns a little bit for 8-inch, and then on my third, fourth and fifth round, I go straight forward. I end on my opponent's side. The problem here was I I can't go straight here, then the Blood Knights and will come over the flank, and I can't break through these units. This was 10 moment. Grave Knights and Grave Guard on foot, and there I can't break through in one round. That's a great problem for me. And he has no Wailing Dire, only one Banshee on the other side. But the problem for me is he will bring back the models. And then he can countercharge. And that's a really great problem also for my army. But for him, it was the same problem. When he runs inside, he can't break through. I will bring back the models, but I can scream him every turn, and when I play it right, he can't come with other units in my flank. So he can't come to me. It's the same problem. And I hoped that he will not realize what I will do. But it was a really good player, and this is the end of the game. In my 5th battle round, I stay here with the 2 engines and the 3 Felbeth tarot guys, and he see it one round before he puts the ghouls behind, and every turn he go a little bit backward, and in his 5th round he use drilled on his Blood Knights to reform in 2 ranks, look reform around, and go straight forward. And so at my last round, I can't kill the Blood Knights. I managed to have a lucky shot, but with Scream, but he don't roll high enough. And my problem was the zombies were, including standard, only 95 points. And so I could kill them, but then I have the problem that I can't come over 100 points difference. That was my problem. I was very exciting that he realized not only what I want to do, that he waits so long to bring the Blood Knights safe. And he told me he realized when he go at faster on turn 3, 4, backwards with the Blood Knights, then that was also something I have seen when he go further in the back. I stay to this time here, or when I stay here, then I can go straight in the middle, because here was nothing what can come to my flank, because in the most times the other units can't kill me in one round, and when I can scream with five Wailing Dire, and he has after this only one round, then I can say, okay, here maybe I will lose one Terrorgeist, but if he loses his whole Black Knights, then I will win the game. Or Black Knights and zombies. Maybe next time I would push the other zombies also straight in, that I have the option more to say, okay, you don't want to play with me on the one side, then I go to the other side, and I'm protected by the line of zombies. They will die, but then I put crypt ghouls behind, and when the zombies die, you run into the crypt ghouls, and next turn you become the problems with my Wailing Dire and counter charge. This was the tournament, and when I would win this game, I would become second place, so it was only fourth. It's okay. I think maybe next time I will play it a little bit different, but in the whole I'm very happy with this list, and here I see I only need a few more times with this list. My problem was before tournaments, the last 2 weekends, I don't want to play with this list against one of friends, because it's nothing for like we call it in Germany, Bier und Brezel Spiel. It's nothing for a friendly game to play one of these lists, and so this is something where I say you must can play this list, and so it was good to learn, and I see I will become each time I play it better. But the next month I will play Lizardman or Empire. I don't know at the moment. I will show you if Lizardman or Empire can make something with it. Maybe I will see. I hope you can enjoy this video. I hope I was good to understand. If you have any questions, or do you want to see more tournament reports in English, then write it down under in the comment section and give the video a like and follow this channel if you want to see more English content. I will not bring every 2 days or every week English video, but I will see that I bring tournament reports and maybe list and FAQ or special videos then also in English. So I hope I will see you again in one of the next videos, and I say goodbye, have a good time, see you next time.